we moved to Dry Creek. Dry Creek, what a cool place for growing Zinfandel Dry Creek is. Dry Creek was the first place I met this guy over here on my shoulder. You know, back in 1976 when I did my first harvest. That's where I met the raven. That's where raven became my totem. That's when Ravenswood became Ravenswood. So Dry Creek has a special place in my heart, but it wouldn't have as much of a special place in my heart if it wasn't for this vineyard. This is Teldeschi Vineyard. This is a vineyard in the Dry Creek benchland, planted around 1900 to 1910. It's farmed by the Teldeschi family. What a wonderful, wacky family they are. They've been farming it since the very beginning, you know, father-son kind of thing. They farm it just like they used to farm it. It's all dry farm. They plow it every year. You know, if I'm up there at the right time, I get to go ride the tractor with Johnny and, you know, watch this incredibly red, beautiful Tuscan Red Hill soil, you know, kind of fold out, and then he folds it back in, and it's so pretty because you have all the vines sitting up there, and they haven't really gotten their leaves yet, but they're statuesque. They're just gorgeous. It is really terrific. And when you look at the vineyard, you know that it's going to produce good wine. It just couldn't do anything else. I mean, you know, it was like looking at Rock Hudson and knowing he was going to be a movie star. You know, there was just no way around it. So we do have a bottle of it here that we can taste. This vineyard planted in 1900. We made a little bit more of this wine than we've made of other wines. This has got 3,560 cases made, so it is the largest single vineyard we make. This is a pretty good sized vineyard. It's a vineyard that has got, you know, Petit Syrah, Carignan, Alicante Bochet planted in it, but mostly we use the Petit Syrah and Carignan to augment the Zinfandel, and this particular wine has probably 80% Zinfandel. So you might expect that it would be a little darker, a little bit denser because of the Petit Syrah, which adds sort of structure and tannin, but also have some really juicy qualities because of the Carignan, which adds kind of a raspberry spice. The acid tends to be a little higher. So we're really looking to produce a really interesting, balanced wine. We actually separate the varieties and ferment them separately, unlike Bologna where we actually co-ferment everything. And this was bottled in April, so once again, like the 07s, like I said before, you know, an early bottling vintage, but pretty clear fruit. The Teldeschi family was very instrumental in my getting grapes early. You know, I have learned to enjoy Italian food because of the Teldeschi family. Mama Teldeschi is maybe the world's best Italian cook. I say that because her son would probably kill me if I didn't. But having said that, she's terrific. She grows her own chickens, kills them on the clothesline, you know, bleeds them on the clothesline. Man, maybe I should have been talking about that. Grows her own tomatoes, you know, kills those right in front of you. And they're terrific. They are the meatiest, most wonderful tomatoes, seeds that she brought from Italy with her, and has been propagating them for many years, and makes these terrific little biscotti. You know, she is the queen of biscotti for sure. But more than that, she makes these little fine anisette cookies that roll around and they taste so good. In fact, sometimes you can get a hint of them if you use your imagination in the very end of this wine with this kind of sweetness and just a hint of that anise in it. But look at that wine. Look at the color of that wine. That is so dark. It is sort of classic California Zinfandel color. Dark, intense, deep, rich. You expect something to come out of this glass when you actually stick it up to your nose, and you do get something. In fact, the people at Decanter Magazine thought they got something too, and this was their North American Red Blend of the Year now for a couple of years running, so pretty good wine. It's got classic Dry Creek benchline character to it. What's that? You don't know what that is? Well, I'll tell you what that is. That is cherry vanilla. Yeah, it just comes out to you. It's like black cherries. It's like a black cherry clafouti in some places. Sweet black fruit. And it also, as with all the wines that Ravenswood makes, has this wonderful spice in it, a trace of vanilla in behind that. It's got some of that slight anisey quality. You can smell some of the pepper that's associated with the Petit Syrah. Here it's almost like a black pepper note. And it's dense, structured. You can just feel the structure underneath it, but you can also feel the density. You know, if you're looking for a big California Zinfandel, this is a big California Zinfandel. Let's see, what is the alcohol in this wine? You know, it smells like it's 16%, but you know what, I'm wrong. It's only 14 and a half. That tells you how big the wine is. Because at 14 and a half, to have that kind of power is a huge wine without that kind of ripeness associated with it. Ooh, delicious. Big, chocolatey coffee, cherry, vanilla, a little bit fuzzy, but not too fuzzy. It's just about perfect fuzzy for a wine you want to be around for a few years. Wow, that's really good. I can almost taste the marinara sauce rolling across that homemade pasta now. So good. This is a wine that you really want to have with Mediterranean food. You know, wines you want to have with Italian food. Yeah, Northern Italian food, grilled, be perfect. Yeah, somebody might say that this kind of tasted like a cross between a great Barolo and a great Barbera. It's got the acid and like a crunch in the depth of Barbera, and it's got some of this really wonderful kind of ethereal qualities that a good Barolo has. Yeah, so think Italy, only better. Think Italian, migrated to California, and successful and happy and doing something that is truly beautiful and worthwhile for the world. You will enjoy this one.